one, and now they got the man trapped at third and tag him out.
And 2nd and 2, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lot more room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Hear me? I know you're gonna dig this.
What's up? What's up? What's up? August the 19th, 2024, another Monday show down. And 3 more weeks before the NFL starts. I don't know about y'all, but I am just a little excited. Just a little bit excited that football is about to start. You know, I ain't got my jerseys up. I'm going to put my jerseys up later on in the week. Put them up later on in the week. But before I go on, I want to let everybody know that next Monday's show will be 6 to 8. We'll be going back to 6 to 8 because I want you guys to watch that Monday Night Football instead of dealing with us on the air. Get an opportunity to watch that Monday Night Football because it's Monday Night Football. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, as you guys can see, I'm here by myself. We've been having some technical issues, and so we're just trying to figure out what's going wrong. With what's going on with the network, or if it's something we're doing wrong, or how we can correct this thing. So we're working on that, but we wanted to try and just have everybody else call in, other than me, because I'm on live, and I'm the host, but no big deal. I'd rather see them guys' faces when I say something crazy or something out the ordinary. Like when Mo gets on, I'm gonna ask him about them 2 quarterbacks that ain't one quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want to see what he got to say about that. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. I want to see facial expressions. I just want to see facial expressions. So let me see who we got on the line right now. So we got Curry. We got Baskerville. We got Matthew.
He's really
We got Dana.
Yay.
And we got Rich. Is that Rich? Sound like Rich. Is that you, Rich? Rich ain't saying that right now. Okay, I'm guessing he might have stuff on mute. All right, so we're going to go over some baseball stuff real quick, and then we're going to move on to some more exciting stuff. Not that baseball is not exciting, because it's getting down to the wire here. We're at the end of August, almost at the end of August. September is right around the corner, man, and I think there's less than 20 games left in the season, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just gonna look at the Orioles record. Look at the Orioles record, see what they got left to play. They got to go play the Dodgers. Ooh. See, 4, 7, 11, 17. No, I'm sorry, 11, 14, 17, 21, 24, 27. 30, 33, 36. They got about 36 games left. And the most exciting part about this...
38.
38? And the most exciting part about all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is that these races is tight. These races are tight. So we look at Baltimore Oriole, who's in first place, tied with the Yankees at 73 and 52. The Baltimore Orioles has won one game. They're 5-5 in the last 10. They have a 98.5 chance of making the playoffs. The New York Yankees are 73 and 52, tied for second place. Tied for first place. They have lost 2 games in a row. They're 5-5 in the last 2, but they have a 99.4% chance of making the playoffs. And what that means is that the schedule between the Yankees and the Orioles is Yankee schedule is not as tough as it is the Orioles. And you got the Boston Red Sox with 65 and 58, 7 games out of first place. Their chances of making the playoffs is 33%. The Central Division, you got the Cleveland Guardians, who had a gap there. They're 72 and 52. They lost 3 in a row. They're 5-5 the last 10. They have a 93.1 chance of making the playoffs. Minnesota Twins are 70 and 54, but 2 games out of first place. They have a 90.5% chance of making the playoff. Kansas City Royals, who are 3.5 games out of first place right now, have a 69 and 55. They have a 70% chance of making the playoffs. Okay, in the West, what is going on with Seattle? Now I know why Matthew was posting all that stuff about the Dodgers, because he didn't want me to look at this until today. The Houston Astros are in first place by 4 games, ladies and gentlemen, 67 and 56. This is the same stuff that Seattle did last year, and we're gonna let Matthew talk about that for a minute. They won 2 games. The Astros won 2 games in a row. They're 9-1 in the last 10 games. They're 86.5% chance. Seattle Mariners are 64 and 61, 4 games out of first place. They have a 22.3% chance of making a playoff. Sad but true. Man, I thought they were gonna hang on. National League, you got the Philadelphia Phillies, who are 73 and 51. They've lost 1 game to 5-5 the last 10. They have a 99.5 chance of making the playoffs. The Atlanta Braves, who are 66 and 58, 7 games out of first place. They won 2 games in a row to 6-4 the last 10. They have an 85.5% chance to make the playoff. The New York Mets are 64 and 60. They have a 22% chance of making the playoff. In the Central Division, the Milwaukee Brewers are 72 and 52. Won 5 games in a row. They're 73 in the last 10. They have a 98.9 chance of making the playoffs. And St. Louis Cardinals, who 11 games out of first place, they have a 3.9% chance of making the playoffs. Out west, the Dodgers, holding on by the thread of the teeth. They're 73 and 52. They won 1 game. They're 73 in the last 10. They have a 99.8% chance to make the playoffs. San Diego Padres have 70 and 55, 3 games out of first place. They have a 93.6 chance of making the playoffs. Arizona Diamondbacks, 69 and 56, lost 3 in a row, 6-4 in the last 10. They have an 87.7% chance of making the playoffs. So it looked like the wild cards could be coming. All the wild cards could be coming out of the West. And when we talked about this at the beginning of the season, I didn't think it was going to be like this. I didn't think the Dodgers were going to be. I thought it's going to be the year of the Padres, which the Padres are really playing good baseball right now. But I thought they would be in first place this year. I thought the Dodgers would be one of the wild cards. Now it ain't over yet. But you looking at the wild card Padres and you looking at Diamondbacks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me, because I ain't watched the World Series because it was 2 wild card teams that made it. The Rangers played, I think, the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks made the playoffs last year as a wild card team. Looked like they could possibly make the wild card team again this year. Again, 69 and 56. Okay, but they got like 30-some games left to go, so it's still up in the air. And if you look at the wild card, which is tighter than my man's hat band, you got the Yankees, who are 73 and 52. They're plus 3.5 over Minnesota. You got Kansas City's even. You got the Red Sox, that's 3.5 out. You got Seattle Mariners, 64 and 61, 5.5 games out. And Tampa Bay Rays are 62 and 61. They're 6.5 games back out. Detroit, right now, 61 to 64. They're 8.5 games out of the wild card. In the National League, you got the Padres, who are 70 and 55. They're plus 3.5. Arizona Diamondbacks is plus 2.5. The Atlanta Braves are even. The New York Mets is 2 games. The Giants are 4 games out. Cardinals and the Cubs are 5 and 5. Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals are 5 games out. Chicago Cubs is 5.5 games out. Cincinnati Reds, who Mo said could be a sleeper, they're 6 games out of the wild card, right? And it's weird because Cincinnati Reds are 60 and 6. They're 60 and 64, but they're a plus 30. The Cardinals is a minus 62, and the Giants are minus 12. So that just goes to show you that Cardinals lose a lot of close games. Like just a lot of close games while they're losing games, and then sometimes they get blown out and then they win games, but they're not making up the difference. So that's the wild card situation we got right now. So let's go around the horn. First up, Matthew, talk to me, man. What is going on with the Seattle Mariners? I'm a little disappointed in them again because for the last 3 years they've been doing this and they've been falling off at the end. So what's going on with them? What's going on with them right now that causing them to spiral down?
Basically, right now, it's just a repeat system of the beginning of the season when they weren't doing well. And like you said, we're still a long way to go, but we're getting closer towards that playoff stretch. And the only thing that is really stopping them right now is themselves. And by the end of the day, it comes right down to the ownership and the coaching staff. That there's something that they gotta notice the switch. They can. Injuries are very limited.
Okay.
J.P. Crawford's on IL for 10 days, and Mitch Haniger currently is day to day. Other than that, the pitching is smooth. It's just the batting and the relief pitcher for every other game that plays an effect with the rest of the games. But as we get closer down the road, while I'm looking at their schedule looks pretty smooth to where if they can get chemistry together like they did before the All-Star break, we could potentially see them back in that first spot division before the end of the season. But we have to play it out and see where it goes.
Okay. Rich, what you got to say about the Boston Red Sox? At the beginning of the year, you think they wasn't going to do anything, but they're looking promising right now. Even though the chances of making the playoffs right now are 33.3%. And they're plus 25 run differential. I know you didn't expect them to be this good this year, but what do you think has been the most consistent part about the Red Sox playing this well this late in the season?
It's a combination of bats. They've been hitting the ball pretty well, and the pitching staff has been pretty consistent. We should be a winning team based on the body of work that they put together this year. But I think we're like a year, maybe two away from like a deep playoff run.
Okay. Mo?
Yes, sir. So you want me to talk about my Yankees? So we are right where we should be with all the injuries that we've had. We should have won yesterday, unfortunately. We lost on a game that our closer blew again, and we blew it again in the 10th. So we're right where we need to be. Baltimore is a young team. I don't think they'll sustain this. I think we'll get better because Garrett Cole has not been as good as he should be.
Okay.
And our hitting has actually been poor, except for Soto and also Judge. So I think we got a high streak coming.
Okay. Oh my goodness! I'm just looking at I'm reading the inbox messages. Dana, you want to talk about the Braves?
Yes, sir.
You want to talk about the Braves?
I mean, I've been watching them on and off. It's just trying to get it together. I can feel it's a marathon. They've been losing a lot of games. I don't know if they're blowing. Last game I saw they lost like 10-2. You think they won yesterday? I just feel something like that, but we keep the play fire on them. Hopefully we get them the wild card so we have the season. And they say we were going to dominate this year, but I think injuries will slow those down. So, but let's keep going. Keep stopping.
Okay. Who else we got out there?
I'm here.
Lou. Yankee fan.
Yep.
What you think about the Yankees right now?
Yankees are where we need to be. As your previous caller said, right there despite our injuries. And it's that game that we should have won last night over Detroit. But, like you always say, we got our power hitters. We got Judge and Soto, who has done remarkably well for us. They've, his hasn't really picked us up from where when we had that horrible July. And, we're right back where we should be. And it's going to be an interesting race down the stretch between us and the pesky Orioles, which is showing why they are in first place now. But, if Soto and Judge can keep up the way they have been and not make some mistakes, we're going to be right up there. And it's going to be very interesting right down the last game of the season. And I think we might see it for just as an ALCS preview.
Okay. Curry, what's your thoughts on the Yankees? I mean, on the Braves right now. Is it? I know you always say it's not what the Braves are doing. It's not what the Braves are not doing. It's what the Phillies are not doing. They've kept this lead like 7, 8, 9 games. Right now it's down to 7. Do you see any possibility of overtaking the Phillies, or do you think they're just gonna settle down and go for that wild card?
Well, I look at it like this right here. The next 2 weeks is where the Braves have got to make a statement, because they've got some games coming up where they can pick up some ground. They got starting 2 games with the Phillies on tomorrow, and then they've got the Nationals in there. They've got the Colorado in there. So there's some teams that they can pick up some ground on, but they've got to win those games. And I feel confident they can pick up some ground, because right now they're playing pretty good over their last 10. They're 6-4, so I don't want to count the Braves out just yet. But I will say this next 2 weeks, that's where the rubber meets the road when it comes to them, whether they're going to overtake the Phillies or not. But to answer your question, yes, I think they can. I wouldn't bet on it, but I think they can do it based on the schedule that they got in front of them.
Okay. Last but not least, my Dodgers. They holding on by a string, really. I don't know how they doing it, but they doing it. They just lost starting pitcher Glasnow, whatever the name is. He's on the IR. And that's causing that causes concern, because he's the best pitcher we got right now on the team. But watching Kershaw yesterday, he looked really good yesterday against I think it was the Cubs. I think they played. He gave up 6 hits and no runs. I don't think it was until after the 6th inning. So only bright spot we got is Shotani's doing his thing, and you got Mookie Betts back.
Yep.
Now the situation with Freddie Freeman, I don't know what's going on with him yet, but I know he did. He jammed his finger, so I don't know where that sits with him. To go next up, and it's just I just think the dog days right now of baseball, and I think when you have a good bench, that kind of helps you out. And I think that when everybody makes that run, they get rid of a lot of bench players, or they get rid of guys from the farm system they could maybe bring up, and it's wearing teams down because everybody is trying to win now mode. So we'll see where this thing goes, with how well this thing goes for all the teams. But Dodgers, every time I wake up, I look at the scoreboard, I look at ESPN to see what they did, and then I watch a quick pitch to see what happens. And I suggest sometimes when you're watching, if you give them time to watch quick pitch, I think you should watch it sometimes, because what happens is your team may lose 5-2, and you may have a guy on second, you may have a guy on third, and it may be a pop fly that gets the third out. So they were in it. It's just that they didn't get that good hit. And sometimes I think when you look at that, you say, "Oh, well, I understand why we lost." You know what I'm saying? Unless it's a blowout. So that's why I watch quick pitch all the time, regardless if the Dodgers win or lose. I like to watch it just to see how things went down, how they won or how they won or how they lost. And I think this year they probably lost more games by 1 run than they have won this year by 1 run. Last year they was a little bit better with that. But we'll see how this thing moves on going. Next up, we've got we're gonna talk. See what was we gonna talk about? What was we gonna talk about? Let me go back here. I usually write this down, but I was like doing something else before I could get to. I realized what time it was. So let me look at something real quick here. Oh man, we gotta fix this thing. We gotta fix it soon. I just don't know how this. Okay, so I don't even see it on. I don't see it on any of the pages that I posted. I think Facebook be messing with me, man. I really do. I really think they be messing with me sometimes. Okay, so I am on Facebook page, but I'm not on any other page. So the next topic up is the NFL preseason. How your team did. What was impressive about your team? So we're gonna start with Lou, and you can talk about. Let me see. You're the only Jets and Cowboy fan, right? Okay, yeah. So let's talk about let's talk about the Jets right now, and we'll come back to you for the Cowboys. So what did you see was most impressive about the Jets this weekend, and what did you see that you wasn't impressed with?
Well, I believe that the Jets have, improved in the preseason so far. I think their defense is holding up. They're still making some, kind of stupid mistakes, but that can be worked on. In the last preseason game against the Giants this weekend, they got to work on, on how not to turn the ball over so much. Like game one, which was a big problem. I'm surprised he managed to win that game. So they got to watch out turnovers and costly mistakes. But for the most part, I was pretty impressed with them so far. Yeah, we'll see what they can do against the Giants this weekend once the regular season starts.
Okay. All right. So, guys, let's talk about the Jets for a minute. So we got the linebacker they got traded. I think it's linebacker, right? They got traded from the Eagles and went to the Jets. Now, defensive end. Thank you for telling me that. So, how do you get traded from the Eagles to the Jets, and there's no conversation about a new contract? I'm trying to understand this thing right here, because we got a couple other players that are kind of in that same situation. Then Cedric, right? I think that's his first name, Cedric. That's in this situation. But my question is, like, you have the Ayuk situation that wants to be traded, but there are some stipulations on how this trade is going to go down, what they're going to get back, things of that nature. He's always said that he don't want to go to certain teams, but couldn't there have been a conversation? It had to be a conversation, right, between the Jets and his agent that said, after this season, this season is past, we're going to work on a contract. Now, he hasn't played for the Jets. Am I correct about that? I'm just making sure.
Yes.
Okay.
That was what I was trying to think. How could you be one of the trade not even play for the team yet?
That's the key, guys. That's the key. He hasn't played for the team yet. But do you think there was do anybody think there had been a conversation between his agent and the Jets before he went there to say, okay, yeah, we'll restructure your contract?
Maybe.
But I think that if he's in camp, if he holds in, I think there's a conversation, right? Anybody think there's a conversation? But if you hold out, there's not going to be no conversation. Anybody agree, disagree with that?
I agree. There had to be something taking place, with his agent and whatnot. That's what's between this right now, that he wants to ask for a trade request. But I mean, haven't even get the chance yet We wanted to win a few games at least.
Okay. Who? Somebody said they
Definitely thought we were getting somewhere.
Somebody said they disagree. Who was that?
Oh, that was Rich.
All right, Rich, go ahead. Tell you why you disagree.
I disagree because just because a player is not in camp doesn't mean that his representatives aren't talking to the teams. He's not going to play in case he gets hurt or anything.
Well, he can.
Like, I understand Ayuk being at camp in the meetings. It shows that if and when he signs, he'll be ready at least mentally.
And that's what I'm saying. I think if Cedric did the same thing that Ayuk did, I still think there's a conversation because now you're there. You're showing them that you're there to understand the players. You may not be on the field, but you're there. I mean, that's meeting. That's like the rubber meeting the road. At some point in time, you're giving them the illusion that you're going to be there and you want to play. But again, I think there had to be a conversation.
Let's say something about that.
Well,
go ahead, Curry.
I heard that same question brought up last week. It was brought up to Jimmy Johnson, the former Dallas Cowboys, Miami Dolphins coach, and they asked him, how would you handle a player showing up to your practices and your training camp doing a hold in instead of a hold out? He's there, but he's not participating in any of the activities. And Jimmy Johnson point blank said, I would not allow it. He said, I wouldn't allow him at the facilities if he's not going to work. He's showing a bad example to the guys that's out there busting their tail, trying to get better at the game and do what they're supposed to be doing while you sitting around watching. And I'm allowing this. That doesn't set well with the rest of your players. And all it does is starts a domino effect. The next guy's going to come in and do the same thing. The next guy's going to do the same. But if you set the example, you nip it in the bud from the jump, then the rest of them are going to think twice about doing it.
Okay, and that's a great point. That's definitely a great point that you do it, because if you think back, the one that sticks out with me more than any of them was when Emmitt Smith held out when he was at Dallas, and they lost the first two games, or they just lost the first game, and Jerry ran to his house and said, yo, because back then I think they might have faxed the contracts. He's like, I don't even want the fax to get messed up. I'm bringing it to your house. I'm bringing it to where you at right now so you can sign this contract and get you on this football field, because we have an opportunity to win right now. So Curry, you made a great point. Jimmy Johnson made a great point. But I'm gonna say this though. I think in this time and age, it's a different type. You're coaching different type of players. So I don't know if that would be the wise thing to do now. And I totally agree with you. I think everybody else on the board agrees with you on that. You know, you don't make nobody more valuable than somebody else on the team, because you never know. You may have a guy that was drafted in the seventh round, at the beginning of the seventh round, be just as important as a guy that's sitting out and due to injuries. He may step in and be that guy like Brock Purdy did. You know what I'm saying? So you want to treat everybody the same, but we know that there's special treatment that certain players get that other players don't get. You know, and I think that again, I just think there had to be a conversation. Rich, San Francisco 49ers. Ayuk still has not signed. It looked like he's not going anywhere. Let me ask you a question. Do you think they're waiting on Justin Chase, and there's another wide receiver out at CD Lamb? Or you think they're waiting for those guys to get signed in order to give Ayuk his type of money that he deserves, or close to it?
No. I think this is the gamesmanship. Like, he wants a fourth year, so he'll have the next 5 with the Niners, and we're offering 3 and him having the next 4.
Okay.
And so it's about getting the language together for him to sign the contract. Like, I don't know if there's like no trade clauses or no franchise tag clauses. Like, I think he might have came in hot like that, but I think, that began to wane as negotiations went on. But there's really just one point, and this is the length of the contract.
Dak created a monster with that no trade clause and no franchise clause in this thing. Now more guys are going to start doing that as well. Your game this weekend. What did you see? That you liked the most, and what did you like the least?
I like Dobbs. Like, he balled. He had a way better game than Purdy. I mean, granted, Purdy did not have his weapons on the field. But he just didn't look good to me.
Okay.
Now, I saw him directing traffic for a couple of one drive, and it looked like the receiver wasn't doing what he wanted him to do. So, there's some chemistry issues there, but he just didn't look good to me, and I need to see to make sure that he's cool. So this week is important against the Ravens.
Okay. Matthew, Seattle Seahawks. What's going on with those guys, man?
Currently with Seahawks right now, Geno Smith is asking for a brand new contract.
What?
And he wants to be with all the big boys.
Wait, time out.
Really?
What did you just say?
Geno Smith wants a new contract that has the same amount of money as the other big quarterbacks in the league. Despite the Seahawks giving him a 3-year contract last season.
I'm going to say, didn't he just sign a new contract? So what, yo? I know the air's thin in Seattle, but man, it ain't that thin.
So on his social media, he deleted everything almost, and he posted in a story on social media saying that he's gone, in which he wants the new contract. But in my opinion, we're not going to give him that new contract because we just gave you this big chunk of money. We're not trying to be in the same situation that we were with Russell Wilson.
What was his contract, Matthew, if you don't mind me asking?
I want to say 3-year, 120.
Yeah, they rewarded him. They rewarded him really nice.
But now he's asking for like a 4-year and the Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes contract.
Yeah, okay. And my thing,
he ain't getting it.
And my thing is this right here. If you, this is me as a quarterback. If I'm a starting quarterback, I really don't care about the years because I'm looking at the guaranteed money that I'm putting in my pocket when I leave that desk, when I leave that office, the check that they sign off on I'm depositing in the bank. That means more to me than the back end of my contract because more than likely I'm not going to see it, right? If you cut me like Russell Wilson, you're still guaranteed the money. What Geno Smith is doing makes no sense to me at all. I'm anybody. Yes.
He's making $26 million this year. I think if the top of the cap is 50, if that's where we're looking for quarterbacks to go, 50, between 50 and 60.
Yeah.
26 is all bad for a starting quarterback in the NFL. I understand his gripe. He's getting $26.4 million this year.
Well, whose fault is that? That's his fault for signing the contract. Rich, does it say how much he got guaranteed money? How much was his guaranteed money on that contract?
Let me see here.
While you looking it up, let's go.
Other than that,
go ahead, Matthew.
The Seahawks currently, we don't know if Geno's even going to play in Week 1 because of that contract dispute.
Yo, this is silly.
Who cares? Who cares about Geno? I'm more happy about Sam Howell, who we got from the Commanders. 11 for 14, 153 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, and a passer rating of 136. Despite the loss to the Titans 15-16 due to the Tennessee doing the field goal game.
And
other than that, this team looks healthy.
And he's not a bad. He's
and
not.
the new coaching staff
Go ahead.
is impressive.
But you know what?
You got Mike McDonald at head coach. Offense coordinator is Ryan Grubb, which a lot of NFL reporters are saying you're going to see an offense that you don't really see in the NFL this year, because Grubb, when he was in college at Washington and South Dakota, he ran a certain offense that worked along the way. He's going to test it out with the Seahawks.
Okay.
And I forgot that we signed Jim Harbaugh's son, Jay Harbaugh, to the special teams coordinator.
Okay.
Where did Sam Howell play his college ball?
Matthew, you know that?
Yeah, I know that.
North Carolina.
Yeah,
Oh, you don't say.
And you know what? I was going to say. I was going to.
Russell Wilson play.
I was going to say that he's not a bad quarterback.
Russell Wilson played at North Carolina State and
Wisconsin. Yeah. And Sam Howell's not.
Which one of them won a Super Bowl?
Huh?
Between Sam Howell and Russell Wilson, which one won a Super Bowl?
Russell Wilson, but who lost the Super Bowl because he wanted to be.
Sam was young.
Because he wanted to be bigger than he wanted to be bigger than the running back. Russell Wilson.
Name a North Carolina quarterback that won a Super Bowl.
Oh, I don't know.
Sam's 23 years old.
We might have to look back in the archives on that one. So Gino got a 3-year, $75 million, $40 million guaranteed. So he got over half of his money guaranteed to them. If he think if they're going to restructure that contract because of him, it's not going to happen. He didn't. Matthew, you're a Seattle Seahawks fan. Do you think he played well enough last year for him to restructure a contract that he signed last year? If I'm mistaken, at the beginning of the year, do you think he played well enough to restructure that contract?
In my honest opinion, no. And here's the stats from last season: 3,600 passing yards, 20 passing touchdowns, and 9 INTs.
9 INTs? That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad.
But when you look at his career in general, he doesn't deserve it. Like, he doesn't deserve that big money. Now, if he were good enough early in his career, and let's say he's with Seattle right now, and we're looking at history of his career, then yeah, we can go give him that contract. But no, he hasn't done anything in his career since we brought him back into the NFL.
Okay, Matthew, though, just real quick. $26 million, right?
Yes.
Your best quarterbacks are getting between 40 and 50.
Rich.
Or I'm sorry, 40 and 60 at this point.
Rich. You know who he can blame? His agent.
Huh.
He can blame his agent for that.
Yeah, because he could get him $10 more million and still keep him under the 40. He is a better than middle of the road quarterback.
So if you look at the NFL passing rating for 2023, he is number 16th. He's in the middle of the pack, right? He's right above. He's right above Lamar Jackson and below Gardner Minshew, who had played 17 games with the Colts. So he's right in the middle of the pack, right? So I'm sorry, Rich. I get I'm not in nobody's pocket, but if you got $40 million guaranteed, if you walked out a building with a check for $40 million out of 75, I don't know about that. And they didn't make the playoffs.
And look at his career. He's basically the Colt McCoy,
who just retired, if I'm not mistaken.
He just retired and he's with NBC.
Okay. Next up, Mo. They're talking about them quarterbacks again. And if I'm not mistaken, who was it on the show said 2 don't equal 1? Was that Curry?
Yep. So we going through this again.
So Mo, tell me.
About practice.
Mo, here we go with practice. All right, Mo. So tell me what's going on. What's going on with what's the bright part of the Steelers? What's the bad part?
Right part was the defense without T.J. Watt. We only gave him 9 points. The defense looked really good. Bad part is offensive line looked horrendous. Russell Wilson had no time, so he had to throw short passes.
Mm-hmm.
He was accurate, except for the one that he missed on Pickens. Pickens should have scored a touchdown on that if it was a better throw.
So let me ask you a question.
Justin Fields was good when he was running around.
So let me ask you a question. So looking at all the reports, everybody's saying that Russell Wilson's holding the ball too long.
Dude, he had like 3 seconds. It was terrible. Right tackle got blown up. Right guard got blown up almost every play. It was terrible. It was like they knew it was the preseason. They were playing.
Okay, and granted, you did watch the game because what Tomlin said was the offensive line played bad. They played bad. All right, Curry, you give me something good about Miami, and Dana, you give me something bad, but let Curry go first. Curry, what you think about your Dolphins this week?
Oh man, that's easy. I was very impressed with the way Tua started the game, drove down all the way down the field, 11 plays, didn't have an interception, and capped it off with a nice, beautiful touchdown pass in the corner to River Craycraft. And that was just a beautiful drive. So I was pretty excited about that. So I'll turn it over to Dana.
All right, Dana.
Okay, what I didn't like was like the backups, like the guys from the team. They look terrible. They just look
exactly.
They're happy to be in Miami. It's just like they happy to be in Miami. We got to find some way to get some fines up under these guys so we can make sure we have that whole program get benefit created up. But now looking at it now, I feel it's over.
Okay.
Yeah, you talking about the backup quarterbacks, right?
Quarterbacks, like
let me ask you guys.
Secondary.
Let me ask you guys a question. How are y'all getting to watch these games and know what's going on? The Browns was on, didn't see the game. The Rams was on, I didn't see the game. Are y'all holding something back on me? Y'all get the chance to see these preseason games because I gotta go for stats.
I take off the airwaves. I ain't telling you on the phone.
Kev, let me tell you about the preseason here in Columbus. They show the Steelers, but they don't show the Browns or Bengals. Because the local network out of Pittsburgh is closer to the sister network here in Columbus as between Cincinnati and Cleveland.
Yeah, that happens here in Harrisburg too.
Because they like watching good football.
But once it's regular season,
like they'll show they'll show Baltimore, but they won't show Pittsburgh, and fans get mad because now they gotta go out their house to a sports bar and watch it. Let's see here.
TV, Kev. Apollo Group TV.
Let me see who Lou.
I haven't watched the Rams and the Chargers.
Man, y'all tripping. Oh my goodness. Somebody better inbox me something, man. I gotta wait till they come on NFL Network and the Rams come on like 3:00 in the morning. You know I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna have to. Oh man, this is crazy. Lou, Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys looking sharp, against the Raiders. I mean, I saw some of the game on Saturday. Their offense is looking good, pretty much, and I think it's going to carry into the part of the season. They really stepped up in their offense so far. I like what I saw.
Okay. All right. So with me, The Browns, the little bit that I did see, defensively, they've got guys that's playing second string or third string, gonna make some noise. Deep offensively, Huntley is I think he's fighting for a job to stick around because Thompson from UCLA might be the backup, but I think the Browns might keep 4 quarterbacks because they're not really sure if Deshaun Watson is capable of not getting hurt this season coming. We'll see shortly because I think this is the third preseason game. I think he's going to play. I'm not for sure. For the Rams, Matthew Stafford had a tightness in his calf, or I think like his calf or his thigh. I think he pulled a hamstring or something like that, but it says not that serious. But what I like about them is they have a bunch of young wide receivers that's probably not going to make this team, but they're gonna make some. They're gonna make another team. They got some guys that are really excited to watch. I'm loving these wide receivers that they have out there, and they're playing like, okay, if I don't make this team, I'm gonna make somebody's team. So I think the first cut comes up this week, right? If I'm not mistaken, this might be the first cut coming up. Okay. All right. So getting back to the Dallas Cowboys, guys, let's talk about them real quick. So we found out that.
Hey, Kevin, before
Yes.
you go there, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Did you say that you think that Cleveland Browns was going to carry 4 quarterbacks?
Yes.
No, they won't ever carry 4 quarterbacks.
The reason
they might carry 3, but
the
2 would be the ideal. And have one.
But the reason why let me look at something real quick because I'm just going to look where we at here. Teams. I think the reason why they're going to keep them is because the situation that happened last year. So right now they got Jameson Winston,
that's the Browns being the Browns.
Tyler Huntley, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who they're saying is 4th on the chart. But Tyler Huntley is getting all the playing time. Jameson Winston's by getting a series, and that's about it. So again, I don't know why we got Jameson Winston. I'll be honest with you. That scares the daylights out of me.
So you guys got Winston because Winston is the veteran guy that's motivating everyone. That's really it. There's really nothing else to it because when I watch the highlights, they always go to him being happy with the players, and that's it. They don't show his playing. They show him motivating the team before they go onto the field.
What I don't like about him is last year when he was the Saints and he changed the play at the goal line. I ain't like that. With the coach called, if the game's over and with the coach calls, whatever the coach calls, you run that play. Simple as that. If he told you to kneel it, you kneel it. You know what I'm saying? I think that was disrespectful to the coach to do that, to do what he done. But we got Tyler Huntley, who's with Baltimore, and they got Dorian Thompson-Robinson on the team. And I think they don't want to be put in the same situation they was last year, where they had to go ask Flacco to come off the couch and play because they want to make sure that a quarterback's going to be healthy. Like when Deshaun got hurt, they put Dorian Thompson in against Baltimore. He didn't know nothing until he walked in the locker room and they said, guess what, man? You're starting today against one of the best defensive teams in the NFL. And he played terribly. But then he came back and played another game after that, and he looked good because he got the reps to play. So I think he's already on the team. I think if they don't keep 4, the odd man out basically will be, I think, Tyler Huntley. I think he's playing to prove himself. And looking at the offensively, they got 6 wide receivers right now. They got 4 tight ends. They got 4 left tackles. They got 4 left guards. They got 3 centers. The one got hurt, so they got the guy from Seattle. They got 3 guys at right tackle, and they got 4 guys at right tackle. I'm sorry. So there's a possibility they may end up keeping a lot of guys on the team. because I'm looking at like this guy Michael Wood second. He might not make the club. Well, David Bell might not make the club because he's not playing that well. He might be the odd man out. Zaria Mitchell Patton, he's a tight end. He might be odd man out. So and the thing about it is, I think now if a quarterback gets released that they feel like could be a part of the team, I can see them getting rid of Tyler Huntley. But I'm just saying, I think after last year, they don't want to make that same mistake again. So I'm just thinking. I'm thinking that thoughts for the Browns. Getting to the Dallas Cowboys situation, guys. You come out and they say that your team is worth $10 billion. The most your team is worth more money than some teams combined together for $10 million. My question to you guys is that considered a win for Jerry Jones? Because right now, Dak's not signed, Micah's not signed, and CD's not signed. Now they did offer CD Lamb a contract and he turned it down. I'm just trying to find where it's at right now. So they offered him, where's that? I think 33. Oh, where's that? I thought I had it up here.
It was 33 million.
30, and okay, yeah. It says here, according to Dallas Morning News, a source has told the site that CeeDee Lamb was currently in limbo as the franchise is offering him a slightly under $33 million per year. A deal that size may sound great, but it won't make Lamb the highest paid receiver in the game. It will actually have him second to Minnesota Justin Jefferson, holding the spot at $35 per year. And it was once reported that Lamb wanted to be the highest paid non-quarterback player in the league. If the current deal is true, Lamb would not be getting his wish. There's still time for Lamb and the organization to get on the same page. However, the longer it goes, the more frustrating it's going to be. So, guys, let me ask you a question. If you're holding in, you're not getting no reps at anything. You're not getting no reps at all. You might be running a mile or something. If they say, can you run a mile? You can't get hurt running a mile because ain't nobody touching you. But if he gets the money and he signs, do you think that he gonna be able to last the whole season? Because your body's, it's different than being in practice shape. It's different than being preseason shape compared to being in shape during the season. So my thing is this right here. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm putting some injury clauses in this thing because the possibility of him getting injured is greater than not because he hasn't been around to get the reps that he need to get. Micah's a little different because he's doing the hitting, right? So my question to you guys is do you think Jerry Jones is okay with the team being worth $10 billion, and if somebody wants to buy him, he's gonna say, well, I know they're worth 10, but I need 12 billion. So he could walk away with, I can't remember how much he paid for the team, but he's gonna walk away with a significant pocket load of money. So I'm a little confused on how this is going down. Do you guys think that they're gonna sign CeeDee Lamb? Do you guys think that they're gonna sign Micah Parsons before the season? And if they do, how will it affect them during the season? And I'm gonna talk to Curry first. What's your thoughts, Curry?
I missed that question. Repeat that for me.
How do you think CeeDee Lamb? Do you think they're gonna sign CeeDee Lamb to a contract? Okay. Do you think they're gonna sign Micah Parsons to a contract? If they do, how do you think that's gonna affect? Well, Micah's in camp, right? He's trying to work through that rookie deal. But CeeDee Lamb, if he doesn't get any reps in before the season, he signs a contract. Do you think how do you think that's going to affect his performance?
I don't think it'll hinder his performance in any way because those guys now, they work out all year long. It ain't like it used to be where they, took all the most of the summer off. Now they got so many activities going on, and they playing and they staying in football shape pretty much all year round. And I know this is not part of your question, but I think that's part of the reason why you're seeing so many injuries. These guys are working themselves too hard. But I do think that they will sign CeeDee Lamb. I think that they will, but it won't affect his play on the field. But one thing you said too, you said that you would put an injury clause in his contract.
Mm-hmm.
The way you get around that injury clause in your contract is a guaranteed money. So it doesn't matter whether you get hurt. That's why they want guaranteed money, so that they can, if they did get hurt, that's basically in the insurance policy when they go for that guaranteed money.
Yeah, you're right about that. I forgot about the guaranteed money because I was thinking that, even though you put and the thing about it is, down they're saying for the money that he's going to get or he wants, he needs to be targeted anywhere from 12 to 15 times. So that means as the other wide receivers that's on the team, that means you're going to force the ball to CeeDee Lamb regardless, because they're saying if he's getting paid this amount of money, I need you to make sure he gets this ball. Now you're putting pressure on Dak to make sure that he get the passes thrown to him, and other players on the team going to be like, yo, wait a minute, I'm wide open. Why you not throwing me the ball? So again, I'm saying to myself, are they okay with this? Or how this is going to be a ripple effect? I mean, you got CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks on the team. After that, you got Jalen Brooks, Kavon Turman. You got eight wide receivers on the roster, which you're probably going to keep maybe 6. I don't know anything about Brooks or Turman. I don't know if they played last year or not. But if you're looking to give him 12 to 15 looks a game, that's a lot. But you're saying that because of the money we're giving you, this is what you got to get. But see what I'm saying? That puts a lot of pressure on Dak to give this guy the ball, throw him the ball, regardless if he's open or not. He's saying, okay, we're giving this type of money. We need you to make we need you to make plays. You need to be the big time player to make all the big time plays in the big time games. And I get that if they're in the red zone, you know what I'm saying? CeeDee Lamb is one of the best red zone catchers out there. But everything else, I don't know, man. I don't know. Anybody else got a comment on that situation? Okay. So
you should take the money.
Matthew just inboxed me, said he bought the team in 1989. He purchased the team for $140 million. Now the team's worth $10 billion. Wow. I just think Jerry Jones. I think Jerry Jones want to keep the Cowboys irrelevant all year long because that's why he says what he says. But again, if they don't get to the NFC Championship game, they're gonna have to be looking for another coach. There's no ifs and buts about it. They could lose last seconds by a field goal, and it ain't the offensive fault.
No.
And it ain't really the defensive fault because they kept him to a field goal. But he's gonna get rid of the coach. And next up is Dak Prescott. I think Dak is probably done with the Cowboys.
Yes.
I think he's moving on. He's gonna play this year, and I think that's gonna be it for him.
He was too.
Anybody agree, disagree on that one?
I agree. I mean, this has got to be his last year.
Because I mean,
I agree with you, Kev.
Go ahead, Matthew.
But my question is, even though I agree with you, if he does leave Dallas, do you consider this the end of him with getting the big contract and getting closer to those medium to low high veteran contract range?
I think that
or do you think he's going to get one more run?
I think he'll get one more run. I think this contract right here, he's proved to us that he can play. If you look at his numbers compared to Patrick Mahomes, other than wins, they're really close. If you look at the numbers, you would not know who is who because that's how close they are in comparison of numbers, and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that Dak's not the reason why they lost last year. The defense is why they lost because they took the Green Bay Packers lightly. You know what I'm saying? And the Green Bay Packers came out and said, "Oh, is that how you want to do us? Okay, I got something for you." And they punched him in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at his offensive, you look at the offensive, Dak was third in the league. He played all 17 games, so he stayed healthy. 69.5% completion ratio. He was right behind Golf and Tua, even though Tua didn't make the playoffs, but again, that's impressive. The average, Tua was 8.3 yards, Dak was 7.7. Dak threw 36 touchdowns. Dak was 36. He threw 36 touchdowns and 9 picks. He's the only one in the top 10. Let me see here. Top 10. Only other person that threw less interceptions was C.J. Stroud. In the top 10, he threw 5. Everybody else is double digits. So he's doing something right. Quarterback rating is 72. Brock Purdy is 72.8. He was 72.7. Archie passing rating, he was 105.9. Brock Purdy was 113. CD Stroud was 100. Nobody else touched 100 in the top 10. So the numbers show that he can get it done. You know. But then somebody say, well, he was drafted in the 4th round for a reason. Well, he was drafted 4th round to be behind Romo, not thinking that Romo was going to have a season-ending injury, but he shined that year as a rookie. You know, and I just think that he got Dallas over a barrel because he can't be. He got a no-trade clause. And he can't be franchised. And I blame this on Dallas because if Dallas would have did this contract a year earlier, they wouldn't have this issue right now. It wouldn't be no trade clause. It wouldn't be no franchise thing in there because they gave him his money when he deserved to get his money. And me and Dana, I think Dana, and Mo might have been on the show talking about this before, that if they did it a year earlier and his contract came up, he wouldn't have a problem getting what he's going to get. He would have got it last year instead of this year. But I think the way they're going about this thing is wrong. But again, hopefully they got a backup plan on how this thing's going to turn out because I don't think it's going to turn out really good. I mean, Dallas doesn't have any running backs. You know what I'm saying? And if you're going to go ahead. Somebody give me say something.
I was just gonna say, I'm sorry, Lou, but I hope it works. I hope it does not work out. I hope Michael leaves. I heard Dak leaves. I hope the Cowboy fans leave. I hope Dallas leaves. I hope Texas leaves, secedes from the Union. I hope they all go to Philly.
Oh Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
That was his rant. But anyway, I mean, at this point in time, you're 3 weeks away. You got to get something done, you know. And if they do, good for them guys, because that means they're getting a nice piece of change. Because they're gonna have cap room next year, but they might not have cap room to bring in free agents that they might want to bring in to help this team get over the hump. If they get to, let's say they get to the NFC Championship game, and they say, okay, well, we know we need a piece. And I'm gonna give you, for example, when the Rams had Jared Goff and Matthew can contest this, we're in the playoffs. He threw an interception straight to the Seattle Seahawks defender, and I'm like, there wasn't a Ram around, right? That was number one. Then when we got to Super Bowl, he threw an interception in the end zone, and that definitely was nobody. There was a wide receiver close, but the way he threw the ball, there was no way he could get it. So I'm sitting there saying, only thing we need is a quarterback. We got everything else. We just need a quarterback. And so they made that trade to get Stafford, and Stafford brought them a Super Bowl. You know, so if Dallas is in that type of situation where there's just one player they need to get them over the hump for that next year coming up, will they have that type of money to bring that guy in if they do sign CeeDee Lamb, if they do sign Dak, and if they do sign Micah, if they give Micah a contract extension, which should be the smartest thing they do, because now if they give him extension, then it doesn't affect their salary in 2025 because he's still on a rookie contract. So I don't know. The Cowboys are just, they want to be irrelevant all year long, and so when they are, we're gonna talk about them. It may be good, it may be bad, but it is what
You
it
know,
is.
if I'm Dallas, if I know that CD Lamb ain't going to take the contract extension, I would go out in the free agency right now and go get Juju Smith-Schuster for the cheap and see if he can get his chemistry back up in those stat lines that he had at Pittsburgh. Because he just got released from Buffalo.
Wow.
Because the chemistry wasn't doing well with him up there. Because with his injury on his hand, I believe,
got released from
or his leg, something didn't agree with him on a play that they were doing.
Okay.
To where, or they decided just to release him on medical leave. So, but if it's just a minor injury on his end, if I'm Dallas, I'll go ahead and pick him up for the cheap. There's potential in him still because he's still at that young age point.
He can still go back to the Steelers. You want him, Mo?
He's cool. We can have Juju because he can block. We need blockers right now.
Okay.
So you can put Juju in the 4?
You in the slot?
For measure.
That would be nice because he's tall.
I'd put Juju.
Go ahead.
I put Juju in one of the seats in the stands.
Oh man! All right.
Right beside Ayuk because y'all ain't paying him.
Oh no, Ayuk's gonna be on the field. You know, and Ayuk's gonna be on the field, whether it's in Pittsburgh or San Francisco.
Hey,
he's gonna be on somebody's football field. Juju Smith-Schuster, not so much.
Speaking of 49ers again, what's going on with Trent Williams? Is they going to give him some contract extension, or what's going on with that? Give us.
Yeah, they're working on that too.
Okay.
Yeah, Trent will be there. BA will be there. Trent will probably get $3, maybe $4 million more, but no more than that.
Okay.
A couple more years.
All right, so let's go ahead and some of y'all didn't send me y'all picks, the post on the page, but that's okay. Dana and the hater against Sandman. So I'm gonna go with Dana first. Give me your wild card team for the playoffs in the AFC. Dana, you there? Is Dana there? Dana?
Hello?
Dana.
T-Mobile strikes again. Hello?
Dana.
Hello?
Was you sleeping again, Dana?
Hey man, I don't know what's wrong with the phone.
Dana, give me your AFC wildcard teams.
Okay. Miami. I gotta take one off because they look terrible.
No. You cannot. You already picked your team. You can't change.
Nope.
Miami versus who in the wild card?
Miami will play Pittsburgh.
And who wins?
Miami wins.
So Miami's
Russell.
Miami's a higher seed? Because you gotta come up to Pittsburgh to go weather. Okay.
They gotta come down and have fun in that.
There's another wild card for the AFC. Who you got?
Or was it what's it? I can't remember. Yeah.
All right, wait a minute. Let me get it for you. Your wild card teams, you have Bengals, Dolphins, and Steelers. So the Bengals, the Bengals will have to play. The Bengals will have to play one of the teams. So who's gonna have?
They have to play.
They got to play the Bills, Ravens, Jaguars, or Chiefs. Who do you think they will play?
Okay, so I'll give them the Jaguars. The Jaguars.
Who wins
And
that
I
game?
got the Bengals. I got Bengals winning that game.
Okay. In your NFC teams, you have Cowboys, Lions, and Seahawks. Who you got playing in the first wild card game?
I had the Cowboys playing the Lions, and I had the Lions winning.
Okay. And then you have Seattle. That means Seattle would be the top seed wild card team. So they would play the Eagles, the Packers, the Bucks, or the 49ers.
I'm going to go ahead and give them the Packers.
And who wins that game?
The Packers win that game.
Ooh, okay. All right, so we're there. Did you got your so you ain't got nothing else done, have you?
Nah.
Okay, we'll stick with that. Okay, Matthew, Sandman, what you got for the AFC 2 wildcard teams?
So on my bracket that I created before the show, so I got Miami as the first seed,
You got Miami as the 4th seed?
and then first seed.
No. Give me your wildcard teams. Give me your wildcard teams. The wildcard teams you have is you have the Pats, the Steelers, and the Broncos. So give me, there got to be somebody that won the division.
Steelers facing the Texans.
Okay, Steelers playing the Texans. So the Texans would have the lowest. They would be the highest highest. They'd be the highest seed, division seed. Okay, Texans. Who you got winning?
I got the Texans winning.
Okay. Then you got the Pats and the Broncos.
Pats versus the Chiefs.
Well, no, you got the Pats and the Broncos they were the other wild card team. So who you got winning that between the Pats and the Broncos?
I got the Broncos winning.
Okay. And in the NFC, you have the Lions, the Saints, and the Giants, the wild card team. So who's the highest non-division team you have? So you got, where you at? This damn stuff. Where you got? So
I got the Lions as the highest.
In the NFC, you have the Cowboys, Packers, Falcons, and Seattle winning. What's the lowest seed division team that won the division?
Lowest seed to win the division would be Seattle.
Okay, so Seattle's going to play Lions, Saints, or the Giants.
So they would play the Giants.
And who wins?
Seattle does by a field goal.
Okay. Then you got the Lions versus the Saints. Who's the higher seed?
Lions are.
Okay. So you got the Saints. You got the Saints. You got the Saints versus the Lions, right? And who you got winning that game?
Yep. I got the Lions winning.
Okay. All right, so there we go, guys. If y'all guys have your wildcard picks, send them in to me. I'll post them. So we got the Texans, the Broncos, Seattle. The Seahawks and the Lions moving on for Matthew. And Dana, we have the Miami Dolphins, the Bengals, the Lions, the Packers moving on. So Dana, I'm looking at Dana's thing right here. So that means, okay, so who you got? AFC, NFC. On the NFC, the Lions and the Packers move on. So the Packers still move on. All right. So in the AFC, you got the Bills, the Ravens, the Jaguars. No, you got the Bengals moving on. Okay.
Man, you should let me change my feelings.
No. You did this. You. So you,
I like Mike Thomas.
Wait a minute, Dana.
It can't block.
Dana.
Like most things, you block. Man.
Wait a minute, Dana. You got. Where's your? Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Okay. All right. So that leaves the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Bills. Right? Okay. All right. So that now y'all gotta come up with your next round of players. I mean, next round of teams. I got that right there going on. Next week is we'll be 2 weeks in. So will you guys be ready to do your pick'ems?
Yep.
I'm ready.
Okay, great. All right, good. All right, next up, guys. NBA open night games. We got the Celtics playing the Knicks, and we got the Lakers playing Timberwolves. I'm cool. I've always Celtics win the championship, so they'll play on open night. I definitely wanted them to play the Knicks. I didn't want them to play Philly because I'm tired of beating Philly. I'm tired. Philly's I'm the daddy of the. We're the daddy of the Sixers, so we don't want to play them no more in a meaningful game like that. I don't want them to feel that desperate because they're gonna see us get those rings, right? And so I was all down for the New York Knicks, and they came up. They came through for me. Maybe they listened to what I was saying about Boston playing the New York Knicks. But I'm gonna say this: the Lakers and the T-Wolves. I'm not cool with that one. That game, I could care less about that game. I could really care less about that game. I mean, they could have put somebody else on that night. And see, they just doing that. They just trying to make the Lakers irrelevant. And Minnesota plays them at home. I mean, Minnesota plays them in LA. Didn't Minnesota get past? Didn't Minnesota go on to they played Dallas to get to the finals, right? So why do they go on the road? I don't understand this, man. See, this is where this is why
ratings.
This is why people don't like the Lakers, because they get privileged. They get the privilege of being on TV and getting blown out from Minnesota. Minnesota don't wear their behinds out because Lakers ain't did nothing at all to me. And check this out though. This is a weird thing about it. The ticket sales for Boston game is $361. Tickets for the Lakers is $138. That's crazy right there. So I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy about the R-Star. I mean, I'm not crazy about the opening game. And then they got called up. It's rival week now. And if I can pull it up, let me see if I can pull that up somewhere. Massive. That's not it right there. So guys, check this out. You know, I wanted to go to the game, right? When the schedule came out, I said to my wife, I said, babe, I said, the game came out. I said, they're playing the Knicks in Boston. I said, it's on a Tuesday night, I think it is. I said, so we can fly up there Monday. I said, we can fly up there Monday morning, be there Monday, get a hotel room, go to the game, and sleep in, and then catch the flight to go back home. Guys, I'm not shedding no money off of this, right? The cheapest ticket, and it's showing $361 right now. The cheapest ticket we saw was
you know what you could do with that?
Was $484. Now I ain't talking about a piece. I'm talking per person. So I went to go buy the tickets.
I know that.
I went to go buy the tickets, right?
I know what you could do with that.
And wait a minute, Matthew. I went to go buy the ticket, right? I said, well, I tell you what, we'll just drive up there, and when the game's over with, if I get tired, we go get a hotel room outside of Boston. That's my thought, right? The tickets came to $1,000. I said, oh, I'm not doing this. If I'd have stayed in Boston, if I took a flight up there, if I'd have got a hotel room, I would have spent almost $3,000 for one event. I was like, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. And I'm not sleeping in my car. I'm not doing that. And I'm not going to Super 8. I'm not doing that either. If it's me by myself, then okay, fine, I'll do Super 8. If I'm taking my wife, we're not doing the Super 8. We're going to stay somewhere nice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the price, I told my wife, and Mo, you need to start saving up too. I said, when we repeat for champions, I said, I'm going to make sure I have enough money set aside that we can go to the ring ceremony, that we can go to the parade, and have a good time. Because once they win again, Dana, I'm definitely going to be at the ring ceremony. I don't care how much it's going to cost because I'm saving right now. I have $400 in my savings account right now towards them winning the NBA Finals, winning the Finals next year, and celebrating in Boston.
Money for your wife and buy
Just getting ready for an in-season tournament.
Oh, Lord. So, Matthew, what would you get ready to say?
Oh, I know what you could do with that money. Like if you let's say you weren't worried about going to that next championship and that ring ceremony. Like let's push that back to the side real quick. Let's say you didn't have that money like for any game in general, but yeah, you're able to afford some of it. There's a new way in sports now that they just started about 2 years ago or 3, to where on majority of the ticketing apps now you can do a payment plan and you just pay it off by the month.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, they had one.
Same with the airline. Right.
But you know what my payment plan was? $500 a month.
A month.
$500 a month.
Yeah.
It's not happening. It's not.
I'm going to the milkman.
It's not happening. So again, I was just telling you guys they have this thing called Rival Week now, and this starts in January the 22nd. You got This Makes Sense, Brooklyn, and the Knicks. The 76ers against Denver, I don't get that at all. The T-Wolves against Dallas, I get that one. Minnesota, Golden State against Sacramento, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Miami,
I do.
Miami against the Bucks. That's Thursday night, January 23rd.
Yeah.
The Celtics against the Lakers at 10 o'clock. That means I got to stay up late because they're out on the West Coast. And actually, I got to look at the schedule because if they're going out to LA on the 23rd of January, then they're back to where they go out west after New Year's. But the 23rd is deep into January, so I got to look at that schedule again. The Friday, January 24th, they got the Pelicans against the Grizzlies. Hope Zion's in shape for that one. Then they have Denver Nuggets against T-Wolves, which that's going to be a good game. That's a Saturday. That's 3 o'clock. Then you have Boston visiting the Dallas Mavericks at 5:30. That should be a good game. And then you got the Lakers against Golden State at 8:30. Now I didn't look at Christmas Day, but I think Boston plays the Sixers on Christmas Day. And it was funny because what's my man that played with the Knicks? I mean, played with the Duke Blue Devils, Williams. He was like, the NBA is trying to take over Christmas Day. We're not going to allow them to happen. We're not going to allow them to have that Christmas Day. We're going to bombard them with games. So they got some decent games on for that rivalry week. This is something new they picked up. But I was going to ask the question about so the Lakers and Golden State Warriors. So actually there was Golden State did show some interest in bringing LeBron to Golden State, and apparently his agent said no. But do you guys see, Dana, do you see that in the future? Like it has to happen this year if it's going to happen. That they possibly can hook up together.
Yeah, I see it. So, I think LeBron. I think
say that again.
I think LeBron will go to Golden State. They tried to trade him to Golden State.
Well, Rich Paul.
There's another thing out there, though, Kev.
Rich Paul said no. Go ahead, Mo. What's out? What else is out there?
AD, Steph, and LeBron's contracts all in 2 years.
So where you think
the expansion team is for Seattle and Vegas?
So where you think they go?
They go to Vegas.
Well, see, I don't think that's going to happen because LeBron wants to buy a team, and if Vegas, Vegas is probably the closest he'll get to buying a team. because people in Seattle is not going to. So we got a Seattle Seahawks fan. I mean Seattle Supersonics fan on the line. Matthew, would you be okay with LeBron owning the team in Seattle, the basketball team?
Yes, only if there's some history with him that, like when he was with the Cavs, if there's like some behind the scenes history that we don't know of.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If there's not, then I'd say no. But if there is, then yeah, let him own it.
Okay, Mo. So you said there's a possibility that all three of them leave and go to expansion team.
Yeah.
What team?
Think about that.
So and that's that. You're not too far away from a possibility of it happening, but they're all up in age. So let me ask you a question. So do you see a flock of guys running to play them? I mean, play with them if that was the case?
No, I'm just saying they do it because they got the cap room. And they get to play together.
So
they enjoy playing, and Steve Kerr said all that mess up. Spitting Jason Tatum made no sense whatsoever.
So do you think they're going there for the money, or you think they're going there to try to win a championship?
Trying to win a championship and end of their career and having fun in Vegas. You don't want to play in Vegas? They probably all three try to get together to try to buy the team.
But they can't buy the team if they're playing.
Well, why not?
That's in the bylaws.
No, it's not. Not if you own the team that you're playing for. Michael Jordan could have played for Charlotte if he wanted to.
Yeah, but he didn't.
You just have to own it before you play for it.
I don't think you can do that.
Yeah,
you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, saying, I don't agree with that. I'm gonna look that up.
So Matthew just sent me something about the Nuggets and the 76ers. Matthew, I'm gonna tell you why it's a rivalry, because the 76ers, whenever they play Denver Nuggets, Joker never plays. They played I think six or eight times, and there's been games where the Joker hasn't played or Embiid has not played. Right? So that's where the heated thing. That's why it's gonna be. They think that's gonna be a heated rivalry, because you got two guys that won MVPs in the last couple of years that they go head to head. But if you think about it, if you look back, they don't play head to head a lot in the last couple of years, right? Embiid has not played, and he hasn't played in Denver, and Joker has not played in Philly. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they played against each other this year, last season. So that's why they're saying that's a rivalry, but really it's not. It's a rivalry between the two players, but not by the organization. I would think. Phil, yes.
I'm wrong. You're right.
Okay. I was going to say that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
No NBA player may acquire or hold a direct or indirect interest in the ownership of any NBA team. Section 12 of the Article 29.
Okay. Yeah. So, that's.
I'm wrong. I admit it.
If they can.
I also admit to Curry that I was wrong for Aaron Rodgers last year. So we finally over with that.
And so the thing about it is, though, is like, it's Curry's not gonna leave Golden State. LeBron will probably go there because LeBron's like, okay, I got LA a championship, and I'm going to Golden State and play, and that's always a possibility. But again, if they don't do it this year, I don't think it gets done because the league is going to get younger, and the West is not to be played with. Oklahoma's going to look really, really good, right? The Grizzlies could possibly be really good. The Pelicans could be good. You got at least 6 teams that could be better. You got at least 6 teams in the West that could be better against Golden State, even if they had LeBron on the team. So there's a skepticism there that this could happen. I wouldn't mind it happening. I wish it would happen this year so we could knock off the cane and the guy that puts people to sleep again, because the next topic, Mo, is a situation with Jason Tatum. You up 26 points, and you tell him at the beginning of the game, I don't know if I have minutes for you. Let's say this one of y'all is on the team. I come to you and say, I don't know if I have enough minutes for you the game. And you be like, okay, cool. But you're up 26 points. Would you not expect to get into the game?
That game,
huh?
That wasn't that game.
Yeah, it was. That was the first game they played Serbia, and he didn't play, and he's up 26 points. And so I'm sitting there saying to myself, maybe he don't want to play 2 or 3 or 4 minutes. But he said to him before the game, no, he didn't say it before. Now that was the other game against Serbia that he said that he don't know if he's gonna get minutes. But the first game against Serbia, that's when he came out and said, I was nuts not to play him. It was my fault. I didn't want to play him. It's my fault. I didn't play him. I should have played him. And that was his excuse. But again, you're up 26 points. You tell him you can find no time for Tyler Halliburton and Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is one of the top 5 players in the NBA by MVP votes. But you couldn't find time to play him. And then you did it again. Now, and it's weird because nobody complains about Embiid not playing, right? Nobody got mad about Embiid. Embiid got mad and said, I no play for you no more. I go play for Cameroon. Because France said, you can't come play for us now. So now Embiid say, no more United States. They don't have enough tigers and lions and bears for me, so I'm going to Cameroon to play. No point intended. But I'm just saying though, how you change your spots like that? So you just out there to get a gold medal. Now he think that the reason why he did this is because LeBron's not gonna play next year, the next Olympic. LeBron's not playing, Kyrie's not playing, KD's not playing. Right? So that's why he went to, because he feels like they got a chance to get to win a medal. Rich, you about to say something?
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
So was somebody about to say something?
It's likely they won't play, in the next Olympics. Although maybe Durant. I think it's gotta be, he's got to be some changes when the roster for the Olympics comes out next year. But I think at least one of those 3 are still gonna be around for 2028.
I think KD might be around. I really do think. Yeah. I really think KD might be around.
LeBron probably not.
But I don't think Steph will be around. I think Steph retires within the next 2 years, because Golden State don't have no draft picks, and they get ready to get yo. I'm telling y'all guys right now, Golden State is gonna get hammered so bad this next year. The year they're gonna have a year like they had when Steph got hurt, Thompson got hurt, and Draymond got hurt, and they got pounded. That's what they're about to go through, because all the people that Steph Curry put to sleep, they coming back. They're not gonna put him to sleep. They're gonna knock him out. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, getting back to the Jason Tatum thing, I really couldn't understand that situation at all. He's top 6 in MVP votes. He's first team All NBA. And Jason Tatum can play every position, honestly, other than the center. He can play the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4. And you're telling me you couldn't find no room from the play? No minutes from the play? Come on, man. That's not cool.
Right.
That's not cool at all.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think that Steve Kerr basically signed his resignation as Team USA basketball.
Yes, he did. I think he did. I think he signed off on it.
And I think that Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton being there was good for Team USA, because now they have experience of being to the Olympics for the next crop that are coming through, the John Morants and all those guys that are going to be going. So I don't really feel too bad, because you're along for the ride. Go get this gold medal. This is these guys' last hurrah. And so let them go have their fun. And then next trip, You're a star. Jalen's a star. Like all of these guys that we're talking about are going to be the future Team USA.
So
I just don't really see the big deal.
So let's say this. Let's say Tatum doesn't play, Jalen doesn't play, and Tyrese Halliburton doesn't play. Right? Because if you look at all them guys are 26, 27 years old. So actually they'll be 30, 31 going into the Olympics. They still be kind of much in their prime, right? And some them guys like, oh, I don't want to play. No, find somebody else to play. The way you did my boy, I'm not down with it. You didn't bring Jaylen Brown on the team, which you should have. No point intended to Derek White, right? But Jaylen Brown should have been on that team.
Who played more than Tatum?
What'd you say?
Derek White played more than Tatum.
Exactly. So did Drew Holiday.
He did. Yeah.
But my whole thing.
But I'm thinking this way. Steve Kerr is gone.
Yeah, he's
not coming back.
So basically, he said, he put his middle finger up to them two and said, "This is my going away present." You know what I'm saying? And he probably was mad because Boston blew them out at home by 48 points. They was up by 48 points at halftime. And he said all his starters. He said all the starters in the third quarter, and then play him that game. But again,
that could be
karma's a.
But Grant Hill picked his team.
But Steve Kerr has something to do with it because I'm gonna say this: Kyrie should have been on that team as well.
Yeah.
There's no way Kyrie's not on that team.
I don't think Steve Kerr had anything to do with this. That though, or Grant Hill. That was Nike.
Now you might be.
Nike's not gonna let Kyrie wear Nike stuff. Nike brand.
But you know what though? I get that, but is that big of a deal when you're trying to win a gold medal? You're mad because two dudes don't want to wear your sneaker.
Nike's not going to allow them to put their clothes on.
But Jaylen Brown plays in Nikes and he puts some over the swoop sign.
Again, Grant Hill picked his team. Steve Kerr had nothing to do with that.
You don't think Steve Kerr had any opinion on this team?
I think he had an opinion, but I think that when Grant Hill sat down, Grant Hill had a vision of what he wanted this team to look like. And I think his vision was, I want defenders. Not saying that Jalen can't defend, but he put a real big emphasis on defense outside of his stars. Drew Holiday, Luke Kender, your boy.
I get what you're saying.
Derek White, defender.
I get where you're coming from.
Jalen locked down Luka.
I get
that makes no sense.
I'm not saying that Jalen's not a defender. I'm saying when you look at the top 5 defenders in the NBA, Jaylen Brown does not come to mind. Jason Tatum doesn't come to mind. Drew Holiday comes to mind. On-ball defenders at the perimeter, Drew Holiday is top 3.
Hey, Rich, do you know...
KD on LeBron don't come to mind stars, but he played them 30 minutes.
That's the
Those
point.
Those are the superstars.
But again...
And wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Tatum is not a superstar?
Tatum is a young superstar. He's rising. Y'all looking at y'all thinking about 2024. Eric Spoelstra is going to be the next coach of Team USA.
Right.
And Eric Spoelstra is taking Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, all these young guys, and they're going to go get one in LA. I think you're putting a lot of emphasis on Jason Tatum sitting because he just won a title, but I feel like his body needed the rest. He didn't really need to be out on the court. Like that's just me though.
And I'm gonna say this to you, Rich.
But wait, Kev.
Go ahead, Mo.
Well, he could play Drew Holiday and Derek White, who also played with Jason Tatum, who deferred to Jason Tatum.
Okay, so let me say this in response to that. If Jason Tatum tears his ACL, the season is in jeopardy. If Drew Holiday or Derek White do it, I mean, we're going to struggle a little bit, but that spot can be filled with somebody else.
But
He
you
cannot replace Jason Tatum.
but you're saying if, and that
That's
could,
why he should be playing.
and the if part of it would apply to all them guys that play. And I'm gonna say this to you. I'm gonna say this: if Danny Ainge was still the GM, I don't think Drew Holiday or Derek White's on that team. Jason probably would be, but I don't think Drew Holiday would go. I don't think Drew Holiday or Derek White, he would sit down and say, I'm gonna say this. The Boston situation, if Red Auerbach was around, they definitely wouldn't have played. Because he's like, okay, I understand about the Olympics and everything, but you're here to win a title. I'm paying you to win titles, the NBA titles.
Yeah.
That's why when the Gallinari situation happened, they were pissed because he's playing in the summer, whatever it was, and he tore his ACL, never got a chance to play for Boston. And he gets mad because he gets traded, right? That's the issue at hand, is that I'm paying you to work out, to be ready for the NBA season. I'm not paying you to play for the Olympics, right? But now that is a different scenario because, again, I think Danny Ainge was he was younger version of Red Auerbach as far as trading and things like that. And I think he would have been saying, look, I can't tell you not to play. The only thing I can do is say I can ask you not to play because your job here is to win title for the Boston Celtics. You win title for the Boston Celtics, you looking at being in the Hall of Fame. Do Olympic gold medal get you in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, it does. Because Melo, he's a shoe-in for that because of gold medals. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, anybody could have got hurt. You know, I just think that his reasoning for saying that the first time that Jason didn't play, I'm a knucklehead, I should have played him. You had no intention of playing him in the first place. Because the second time they played, he still didn't play him. So again, I'm like, why are you doing what you're doing? And you got everybody, you got NBA players who are saying, yo, what's going on? Why are you doing this? So basically what Steve Kerr has done is motivated the Boston. And this is why I think Boston will repeat. They motivated Jaylen Brown and they motivated Jason Tatum to be better this year because there was doubt. Oh, well, the Boston Celtics, they didn't play any team. Every team they played had somebody hurt. That wasn't their fault. Porzingis didn't play in all series. So, again, I don't understand what that was all about. You know what I'm saying? So now, like Jason Tatum said, okay, y'all say we ain't play nobody, so I guess we got to repeat again. So we want everybody in the East, we need them to be healthy, right? And if we go game 7, they go game 7. And if Boston wins, then they can't say nothing at all. But the motivation thing that they're about to do right now is all about what Steve Kerr did to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And what Grant Hill did with Jaylen Brown. Because Jaylen Brown should have been on our team. Boston, if you go back and look, the starting 5 for the Boston Celtics, if you add Porzingis in, all got a vote for all defensive player. So if you're looking for defense, the defense is not going to. Only person the defense probably would have fell off on was Porzingis, which he would have played for another country, but because he was hurt. But Jalen, Jason, Derek, and Drew all had one vote for a defensive player. So if that's what he's looking for, he would have got that from all them guys. You know, so he can come up with all his excuses he wants to, but from the outside looking in, there's a problem. And Jason Tatum took it like a man. He respected his decision. He kept it moving. He's like, yo, it is what it is. I can't tell you right now if I'm going to play for the Olympics in 2024. But I think the closer you get, the more he probably would say, yo, let's go out and do it. They tell gentlemen, yo, we won a title. Let's go out and get a gold medal together. You know what I'm saying? But that only thing they did was motivated them two guys. For Grant Hill to give his reason why Jaylen Brown didn't make the team, and it's all about Nike. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see how motivated they be. Let's see how motivated they'll be. Any injuries to either one of them, they're going to be. The Boston going to be tough to beat. And everybody's coming after them, but now they got something else motivating them to be better than what they were last year. You know, and that's why I think my personal opinion is that I think, and even if I wasn't a Celtics fan, if even if I wasn't a Celtics fan, I would say the same thing about them because they gave them more fire to prove to everybody in the NBA world that they are the best team in the United States. Because now they're questioning. So, Rich, let me ask you a question. Do you think that the starting five Boston Celtics with a healthy Porzingis could beat the Olympic team?
No.
Mo, do you think they could beat the Olympic team?
He's gonna guard Drew Holiday. Yeah, because Drew and Derek White ain't gonna be on the team. Neither is Tatum. I think they got a good chance because they know how to play together.
Absolutely,
and they play defense.
So let me ask you a question. Who would you replace Derek Holiday, Drew Holiday, and Jason Tatum with?
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday. Who would you trade?
They can't replace him with Jaylen Brown.
Well, no, Brunson.
He will be on the Celtics.
Brunson probably would make the team. Okay, so that's their point guard.
He would.
Okay.
He plays no defense.
I'll bring in Paolo Banchero.
Okay, young dude. Okay.
And I bring in Paolo and from Cleveland.
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell.
He plays no defense either.
Yeah.
That's absolutely wrong. That you don't watch basketball. You watch Boston.
No.
Are you serious? We beat Cleveland.
Absolutely.
He put up 40 and gave up 50.
Okay. Okay. They said the same thing about Devin Booker, and then Devin Booker goes out there and starts clamping everybody. I mean, I don't know what to say.
No, I mean you have a good valid debate here going on.
Wait a minute, Sam. How many games did Cleveland win against Boston?
One. They won the second game.
You're talking about as a team. I'm talking about as one player going to a team. Donovan Mitchell can score you, and he can lock you down.
Oh my God.
Okay, so let's say you got Donovan Mitchell and you got Brunson. And I think the only reason why they said Brunson wouldn't have made the team is because he's ball dominant, right? And you can say the same thing about Donovan. He's ball dominant too, right?
Yeah.
So can we look at them offensively or defensively and say, who would Donovan watch on Boston? Drew Holiday or Derek White?
Drew, either one.
Okay. So who would Brunson?
Devin Booker's going to be able to take the other one. Like, it's going to be a good matchup.
I would say it'd be a good matchup. I think it would be a good game. But the only problem I have with it though is that if they had Embiid at center, he's going to be a liability because he's not going to be able to play defense like he wants to because Boston's they're a 3-point shooting team. And if you look at the USA team,
AD and Bam.
You look at that right there, that's going to be tough. Them two are going to be tough to deal with. But if you look at the Olympic team now that they just had, who was really the only 3-point shooter they had was KD and Steph, right? Steph got hot. KD
Who's coming off the bench for the Celtics?
Who's come up? You have
I just say that
you have Hauser and Pritchard.
Donovan Mitchell put up 33 points. It was -11.
Ooh.
But he's locking down people, right?
Ooh.
You talking about one game? Like this is craziness.
Let's go to the second game.
How about you look over the season?
Dude, I'm talking about Boston. You're talking about.
I don't care about. But you're talking about one guy. You're talking about one-offs, brother. And we're talking about a completely different team. This was Cleveland that the Boston Celtics played. You're talking about Team USA going against the Boston Celtics.
So
Team USA is a little different. That's a different animal.
Right. I agree with you on that, Rich. But I'm gonna say this though, if you look at and this is why Brunson wasn't on the team because you got two guys that are ball dominant, Then you had LeBron, who's ball dominant. Then you got Curry, who's ball dominant. Only one out of start. Embiid's not ball dominant because he's a big man, but you need him on the floor to defend, right? Steph was shooting threes and KD was shooting threes. Now, if you go with Ant-Man come off the bench, Hauser or Pritchard can't handle him. I think that's where it differs. You know what I'm saying? That's where it differs because you got him coming off the bench, right? I think
33 points.
I think that's where it differs though, because you got
the dude doesn't play defense.
That, but I'm
how do you argue with that?
Again, you put Donovan Mitchell in with a bunch of other Olympians, top players in the league, and it is a different animal altogether. It's not the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Celtics. You got a ball down the Team USA against the Boston Celtics.
The only thing.
And once y'all hit the bench,
that's where the trouble comes in with the bench. But again, my only problem with Donovan is he's ball dominant. He needs that ball in his hands. You know, that's why I don't know if him and the other guard they got there is going to work. That I'm just saying, I don't know if that's going to really work for Cleveland going forward. But me personally, I wouldn't put Kyrie. I wouldn't put him on my team. I wouldn't do that. So let me see. We got about 9 minutes left.
He averaged 26 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. And he doesn't even play the point guard position.
No, he plays.
But he has the ball in his hands all the time. And he plays no defense.
So,
average 1.8 a game.
Let's do this. Can somebody?
I just gave you 2 games. He didn't play the rest of them because he was hurt. He got plus 38 when they won the blowout.
But you're talking about. This is the thing that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, Mo. You're talking about Team USA against the Boston Celtics, not Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm talking about taking one player off of one team and putting them on Team USA, and then let him run with LeBron, Curry, all them other dudes.
Okay, so what I did was, guys, this is what I did.
They're gonna smash Curry in the paint.
I got Curry go. The paint gonna be Curry's issue. Best current defender, NBA defenders right now. Giannis is number 1. Drew Holiday is number 2. Kawhi Leonard's number 3, surprisingly. Rudy Gobert is 4. Anthony Davis 5. Jared Jackson 6. Draymond Green 7. Marcus Smart 8. Jimmy Butler 9. Joel Embiid 10. Herb Jones for the Pelicans is number 11. Paul George, Jared Allen, Isaac, Matisse Thybulle. I don't even know if he's still in the league. Miles Turner, Patrick Beverly, Robert Williams, Ben Simmons, Mitchell Robinson, Robert Covington, Jaylen Brown's 22, Devontae Murray 23, Siakam, Jason Tatum, PJ Tucker, Davon Mitchell. He plays with the Kings. Clinton Capella 28, Nicholas Clayton is 29. Let me see. LeBron's 33. Derek White's 37. Chris Paul, Chris Middleton, Danny, Kyle Lowry, Kevin Durant's 48. Jay Crowder 52. Van Vliet's 55.
If Steve Kerr coaches Team USA, it's over.
Let's see here.
Y'all have zero bench compared to what's coming off Team USA's bench. I don't even understand why we are having this conversation. Once the bench is in the game,
they were losing 17 to Serbia. Serbia
again.
Who has one NBA player?
We're talking about
because they know how to play together.
So
how do you think Boston's gonna be when we know how to play together?
So I'm looking at this, and Donovan's like 125th as far as defense is concerned, in the league. So that says a lot right there within itself. But again, if you do the starting five, it's if you have Bam Adebayo and even if you have this would be my starting five: Booker, KD, LeBron, Embiid, and Bam Adebayo. That's a tough five, right?
You gotta try Steph.
Steph. I can't start Steph over Booker because Booker plays more defense than Steph, right? So,
it's Steve Kerr coaching.
So, so if you
already know he's starting Steph.
Yo, real quick, guys. Matthew wanted to talk about something. What we got? Good conversation, guys. We might want to address that again. College week will be played this week. So we got Florida State against Georgia Tech. Montana State against New Mexico. SMU against Nevada. Delaware State against Hawaii. This is week 0. I guess Florida State against Georgia might. Oh, that game's in Dublin, Ireland, man. That's nice. That's really nice that them kids get to go over to Ireland because no other way would they probably get.
And ESPN gets the rights to that this year.
Yeah, that's cool. That'd be a cool.
Last year was Fox.
That'd be a cool little trip for them guys over there, man. That would.
Now
be
you
really
see
cool.
the channel for the Hawaii game.
That's ESPN, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's for ESPN for the Florida State Georgia Tech game.
Yeah, and then you got FS1 for other games, CBS and Spectrum PPV. Who is that?
Pay-per-view, as in you have to pay to watch that because the University of Hawaii
ain't nobody watching
charges $69 per game.
Ain't nobody watching that. They can forget that.
And then for a season, you got to pay $290.
Ain't nobody
just to watch Hawaii football.
Ain't nobody watching that. Ain't nobody.
Hey, congrats to FS1 though because like you gotta think like 5 years ago you weren't getting these small colleges on the big network.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what though, Matthew?
Now you got a big expansion with all these networks coming in together asking these small colleges, hey, we want you on TV.
FS1 need to step up because when baseball played in the playoffs, they was like they're on FS1. People was like, who's that? Where's that game at? And that was killing them. That was killing baseball because nobody knew where that game was being. I mean, what channel that game was being played on. Let's see here. Man, we got about 3 minutes left, guys. Let me see here. What we got? So we pretty much we talked about a lot of stuff. That we might focus on some more college football coming up. But overall, it was a good show. I think we kind of got rid of the verb. I think I turned it down a little bit. I think that we was fine with that. So I'm gonna go back and listen to the show again. Rich, if you can find, I'm going away, so I won't be able to look at anything. And actually, next Monday, I won't be doing my show because I'll be in the air flying back from Vegas. And Tuesday, I have a soccer game. So we're probably looking at maybe Friday. Or one day next week. One day after Tuesday, whatever's cool with everybody else, let me know. And we can come back online and do the show. And if you can find out some information about that internet stuff, I was going to try to use vMix, right? But I haven't got a chance to look at it yet. But they said vMix is probably the best thing going out there. So if you guys can generate some information and we can talk through this thing, then we should be good going forward. Let's see here. And we didn't touch on no WNBA at all. Would you say, Dana?
Where's the draft, the fantasy draft?
Rich, when's
next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday? Oh shit. Ooh, I mean,
okay.
What time's the draft?
7 p.m.
Can you make it 7:30? Is that good for everybody?
I can make it 7:30.
Please do, because I should be done with soccer by then. Because they got the.
I can do 8 o'clock if you want.
Okay, if everybody's cool with 8, then we can do 8.
Go with me.
Actually, what we can do we want to go? Do we want to do the live show on the draft and talk about the draft and why we picked who we picked and stuff like that? We did talk about it. So let's leave that. Let's put in whatever you guys want to do. I'm down with it. If we do it Tuesday, so we can go 8 to 10, do the draft, and we can talk about some other stuff after the draft. We're done. Or we can still talk about the draft and whatever. So let's look at that for next Tuesday then. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all hanging in for me. Hopefully this thing sounds a little bit better than what it's been sounding like. So
Mo being a Boston Celtics brother.
Yo, that was a good conversation with him too. I love that. That was good. That was good. All right, guys. Hey, you guys have a good rest of the week. If I don't talk to y'all guys again, I'll see y'all on Tuesday. I'm going to Vegas.
Have a safe trip, family.
I hopefully I will. Hey, real quick, guys. So I kind of changed my seats around. I got a seat in first class, but it was in the middle. I said, I don't want to sit in the middle, so I moved my seat back where I can sit against the window. Cost a little bit less money than what the first row said, but I'm like, nah. Well, I thought about, I said, nah, I don't want to sit in the middle. I don't never like sitting in the middle. I want the exit or I want some leg room.
Question: what airline?
I'm doing American.
Are you really sitting first class? And you think middle is stuck to first class?
Because I don't want to sit in the middle. I never like sitting in the middle.
Dude.
I gotta sit on the window. I have to
middle seat.
I have to sit.
So are you still sitting in first class?
Yeah, I am still in first class, but I got a window seat.
Okay, good. If you were, I could have just told you to pre-order your meal. But since you're in first class, you're good. Because with those long flights,
I'm flying. I'm flying from here.
You're getting food.
I'm flying from here to Charlotte, and from Charlotte to Vegas. And I did that before, and I hated that flight, man. They gave me this dry sandwich with no mayonnaise. They gave me a bottle of water that wasn't even cold. I like, man, never again.
Don't worry, this time around you're going to enjoy it.
I got some snacks going with me. I got some Swishers. I got some Swedish fish going with me. I got some sunflower seeds. All they gotta do is provide me with some water, and I'm good.
Well, you do know in first class you do get the premium bread, or just
yeah. I'm just saying if I would, I'm just trying to be prepared myself. If they don't feed me like I
would,
we
see you on the news, we know why.
All right, guys, man, y'all have a good night. God bless y'all.
Hey, Ken, what you find a value jet with a middle seat in the first class? Every first class seat up, didn't have no middle seat.
No, this was flying from Harrisburg to Charlotte. They had a middle seat. They had 3 seats there. Even though it's big and roomy, but I don't like sitting in the middle. Yeah, Mo.
Spirit.
You flying one of those where the pilot had a goggles on and
oh, y'all funny. All right, man. Y'all have a good night again.
Hey, y'all have a good one.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K. Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big-time players make big-time plays, and big big-time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.